Belina mai kako, welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps aloha by welcoming back another past podcast guest. I'm your host, Kamaka, and before we introduce him, I am so stoked to let you all know that we will be back on the Blue Note stage in Waikiki doing another live podcast with special guest and performers, Seven Sons. We will do a live talk story followed by a 30-minute acoustic set from the Nahoku Hanohano award-winning band, and then a meet and greet / book signing after the show. Head to bluenotejazz.com/Hawaii to get your tickets now before they sell out. I hope to see you there. All right, let's introduce our guest.
After 175 years, some people still think we're just a ranch.
And we just farm all day.
What they don't realize is we wear many hats. And that's just how we roll.
You just might see some old friends.
Or make some new ones.
So come hang with us
Drive on out to the country.
and get that epic snap.
No matter what you're looking for, come discover where legends are made.
Our guest today is a community leader from the island of Maui and needs no introduction. He first came on the Hawaiiverse Podcast over 2 years ago, and now he is back to talk story once again. Check out episode 64 to learn more about him. He is Kaniela Ing. Aloha, Kaniela. Welcome to the Keep It Aloha podcast. How you doing?
Aloha, kamaka. Great to be here. Congrats on the name change.
Thank
I was saying earlier, that was my sticker on my laptop back in high school. Keep It Aloha really big. Mountain Tropic, shout out. And congrats on the book. That's a big deal, man.
Yes,
It's a big deal.
The audiobook coming out soon.
How long did it take?
Not as long as you would think because of technology. So I had a book before. It's right under here actually so far. That took a
student loan one.
No, I didn't do that book yet. I will do it. That might be my next book. That was about my time in Peace Corps. I had a blog and I turned that into a book. But even with just like the editing, that took almost a year. This book took about, I would say, like 4 months because instead of writing it all out, I did an interview like this with one of my friends, and we turned that interview into the book. We put it in the AI software and it put it in the book. And then I just went in for like 2 months and edited it.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Edited it. Hold on, that's like a rapid fire. Edit it.
Yeah, it sounds like a hook to a trap song. So.
Yeah, so not as long as it would take if, back in the days we just had to type in every single page. So yeah, I was stoked that we were able to do it like that.
Yeah, you know those books like Value of Hawaii? That was like when we was in probably around college, high school.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, there was like a series where they'd interview like leaders in the community on certain topics like education, whatever, military. But it's been like 20 years since the last one. I feel like, I don't know, like that's a project I'd be interested in. Kind of same format. You just interview people, put the essays out. You don't got to write the whole thing, but it's like people that we like respect. Like what a chapter on hula can be,
Yeah, well, so the idea of it was first my friend who helped me do the book, he wanted to turn the interviews, the podcast interviews episodes into books. So like this could be an episode, all the, 100, it could be like 100-something books. So we can do that. He showed me an example and I was like, oh, this is crazy. Because basically it's like your own words. It's just formatting it, grammar and stuff like that, But yeah, it's kind of like an archive of all the leaders and not political figures, just influential figures in Hawaii. So that could be something,
It's the real zag. Like everybody's trying to turn books into podcasts and you're over here like...
trying to turn podcasts into...
But you know what? We don't know what's going to happen to all these digital mediums like in the future. Like it might be the books that last. Like who knows?
Yeah. We got to take things off of the internet. You never know. But super stoked that you're here. So much has happened just in this last week, right? The last time you came on was 2 years ago. First, before we get into all like the recent stuff going on, I just want to know what you've been up to the last 2 years.
Oh yeah, been busy. I think the most important job is like raising these kids.
Hammers
are now 9 and 6. In hula, in Hawaiian immersion.
Spartan races,
with
their crazy dad.
Doing all that stuff. Just try to keep as fit and emotionally and mentally and physically as can. But like just trying to be there for him as much as possible. So yeah, I run a nonprofit on the continent where we try to get money into clean energy projects because big oil can pollute and all that. But gonna try to sunset that this year. And focus more locally. So I've been building locally too. Like, some of the work with Lahaina Strong, we helped start to empower people that are going through the hardest times of their lives, having lost everything, and understanding that like disaster capitalism isn't just realtors coming in buying property. It's like the big decisions, like at the legislature, at the county, the developers, and like that's where people get blindsided. So how do we like ho'omana their survivors themselves to like actually fight in that terrain? So that was the project, and it was like 2 years, and it was really just trusting what the community wanted to do, like giving the tools, making sure they're like sustained financially, raising the money and stuff, but like letting them just take it where they need to go. And it's to the point now where it's like a lot of these greedy short-term vacation rental owners that own like hundreds of units, like they got to actually give it to survivors now and convert them to long-term housing. So it's kind of like pretty inspiring to see the victories that they've won. But like that's been the work that I've been most passionate about, and just trying to do that everywhere. Just like putting more power in people's hands in the most like real way possible.
Yeah, I mean, as a Maui boy, I know that couldn't have been easy. How's your family?
My family was fine. Yeah, my mom was actually just living out in Lahaina Luna, like not just a few months before the fires hit, and she like moved away. So yeah, I got real lucky. But you know, when you're from Maui, like everybody has family and stuff that's impacted. But you know, thankfully, I wasn't as impacted as the people that I worked directly with, like Paelidem. They really felt it. So just wanted to make sure, like whatever I learned over the years from the community organizing work, make it count at that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool to see the community come together, right? It's like, oh, the government's not going to help us. Let's just take matters into our own hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, how do you make the government actually like try to work for you, even though they're like more inclined to work for whatever big corporation? And
Totally.
and they figured it out, bringing hundreds, like the mutual aid, the needs assessment, the taking all the people to the rally, occupying the beach at Kaanapali, you know, fishing for housing, bringing together the unions, giant marches. Like that was crazy. You just think about like 5 people that are like our age or younger doing that, like single moms, like just so inspiring. So yeah, just trying to figure out how to support more stuff like that from popping off.
Yeah, right on. I know anytime something big like that happens, there's all these conspiracy theories and stuff. Do we feed into any of those? Do we look into any of those, or we kind of just brush it off?
I mean, I'm not really like I think the conspiracy theories that people make up aren't even as bizarre as like the real ones. That if you actually just look at the classified FBI documents and stuff, you're like, oh wait, like it's bizarre. Like some of the stuff that we've done, or not we necessarily, but like America has done. So you know, you never know. But also, like you don't have to really use your imagination. You just read history.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll continue to talk about other stuff, but I mean, just because it just happened yesterday, right? The tragic death of Charlie Kirk. Whether you fall, whatever side you fall on, whether you liked him or not. I mean, I've seen his videos. I've never followed him, but I've seen his videos before, so I knew who that was. Super sad, and it's so crazy to see the divide. Anytime something like this happens, there's a divide, right? And for this, it's a little sad because, you know, as somebody who's like very positive and keep it aloha, and like, you know, we don't want to celebrate murder or, you know, somebody dying, right? No matter what side you're on. So and I was last night, my whole feed was all like Charlie Kirk stuff. I saw conspiracy theories about guys touching stuff, a guy on the roof, all these things. It's when things happen like that, is it just inevitable because people are just trying to find answers?
Yeah, I think people are like don't trust the system and institutions and people in power generally. And someone like Charlie Kirk spoke to that in a way that I think very few people do. And I think people are quick, especially on the left, to like dismiss this guy as like a mouthpiece that can just be replaced. But he's actually quite talented. Like I look at the way he's organized college campuses and like, you know, really threw himself in the middle of it. And it was very strategic and it worked. Now, do I stand with his views? I mean, he platformed Edward Bloom. He was very against KS admission policy. He said that the Maui fires was a result of Native Hawaiian pagan worship because we worship the water.
That's crazy.
And we deserve it. Like, he said some, like, just things that are just inexcusable. And, like, if he had his way policy-wise, like, people like us probably wouldn't exist. Like, frankly, like people generations ago, if they, you know, did his agenda. But because he spoke to that angst that people have to the system, I think he like won followers that may not even have known about the KS stuff or the anti-Hawaiian stuff. So, you know, I want to be sympathetic to that. Like, what if when George Helm died, a bunch of people were like celebrating his death? How would I react to that at that moment? And obviously it's like a distorted analogy, but like that's how a lot of people are feeling right now. So I'm trying to be sympathetic to that, even though I didn't agree with this guy pretty much at all. So yeah, I think I don't celebrate death. I don't wish death on others. When we do, we kind of concede the mantle of like peace and humanity and empathy. And when we play on that terrain, we lose. Like we live in a state where it's like 1/3 is controlled by the military. Like, you know, the state suppression, military, the police, they aren't on the side of the left or even like most folks in the community, especially poor folks. So like if we engage in violence, we lose. And if I'm going to say it's okay to kill Charlie because of things he said, there are people on the right that could probably make that case about me. And like I'm endangering my own safety. And in fact, like I've dealt with death threats. I've dealt with physical alterations because of my politics, because me standing against Monsanto, against A&B for native water rights, because me standing against the military at times. I've gotten direct threats, and like we just got to figure out ways to de-escalate and see like the humanity in everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that people just need to do is keep it aloha and like
That's right.
remember that, you know, at the end of the day, we're all humans, right? Like just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you need to get physical or, you know, send death threats. Like that's like my biggest thing with this world is like, wouldn't it be nice if we just all had different opinions and just lived our lives and didn't bother anybody?
I mean, it's shocking to see some of the response of like the celebration and stuff. And I think a lot of people never actually had to deal with like a lot of the sort of violence and threats that, you know, maybe I did. So I'm coming from a different place.
Yeah.
But also like on the other side, you have like today there was like white men being like, you know, white men unite, like it's war now, and it's like
white men lives matter.
But like the shooter was
like
probably a white guy, like
Yeah.
that's what it's looking like. So I mean, who knows? I don't know, but it's just it's like people are reacting in the most extreme ways, and I think that I think that speaks to like where we are culturally, or at least where America is culturally, and how it's trickling down to Hawaii as well. But it also speaks to like a fundamental flaw in the way this whole system was designed. And if we have time, we can get into that. But like,
Yes,
it's not just like our attitudes, you know. It's like it's kind of set up to pit us against each other this way.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. I mean, we got about 2 hours, so let's go.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So we have a two-party system in America. When you look at New Zealand, they have something completely different. They have the Maori Party, which we saw this haka. Remember all that? And all those parliament members were like doing the haka in the middle, and then they got kicked out, and there was a big uprising, and all the Maori Party people got on the streets. That's exciting. We would never see that here in Hawaii because we have Democrats and Republican, and there's no room for anything else. Whenever we try to do a new party, like a Aloha party, people just laugh and push us out. And that's because we're based on the American system. But the American system was never set up to be a two-party system. It just kind of happened that way by mistake. Like originally there was all these parties, right? The Whigs and Republicans, Democrats, and like this was just a bunch of different ones. And that's how the founders actually wanted it. But because of the way they set it up, where it's like the first past the post, like whoever gets the most votes automatically gets in, everybody else gets nothing. Then you kind of have to choose. Like it just, the end result was going to be two parties no matter what. So that leaves like little room for any other kind of voices. And, you know, you mentioned earlier, like can someone like me who is seen on the left and someone like Brenton who's like seen more on the right, can we work together? It's very hard in the two-party system, right? But let's say like there was like a Labor Party and an Environmental Party and a Kanaka Maoli Party and like all these different forces like you might see in New Zealand. Then yeah, I can partner with Brenton when he talks about foreign home ownership or water rights, but then I can partner with the liberals when they talk about like supporting Mahu rights, for example, which I support. And we don't always have to be like aligned beforehand. We can just choose. And I think that way people actually are going to be more civil. They have more like, they're not jaded by the whole system. Like both parties are corrupt. You're going to have a home politically. And I think we should figure out how to create more reconstitute the structure of politics here in Hawaii.
It kind of sounds like an ahupua'a,
Yeah.
where everybody had their roles. You got the farmers, you got the fishermen, and you don't need to like fishing, but you still work with them, right? You trade kalo, you trade fish. I feel like that sounds amazing to me, right? Where it's just like, hey, I don't really care about all these 5 issues, but I really love this one issue that you stand by. Let's work together on that.
That's right. And it's not like the fisher folk had all the power. It's a hegemonic power. Like they had to rely on other folks. And in those kinds of systems, it's not just like, okay, the Republicans are in power now, the Democrats are in power now. It's like, no, if you want to hit the majority, you got to build a coalition with other groups. Like that's necessary. So that's a whole different approach of how to look at politics. And I think there's opportunities for that.
How do we get to that though? Because I feel like it's so divided. The divisiveness, it just keeps growing. Every time we think it's getting better, it's just the gap grows bigger and bigger.
Yeah, well, a couple of things. First, I think we got to understand like the forces that are against us, but also like how people even understand each other. So there's this like left and right divide in America, and I think people just fundamentally don't know what left and right even is. Like if I go on the street and I'm like, hey, do you consider yourself left or right? I go, oh, I'm right wing. I voted Republican. It's like, oh, so you support a maximum wage. Oh, you support like cracking down on Wall Street. Oh, you support like public ownership of our streams. They're like, yeah. I'm like, those are all left wing stances. Like, you know what I mean? But we think left and right is a matter of party. It's not. It's a matter of ideology. So like on the right, it's about like preserving tradition. There's wisdom in our ancestors. We got to protect what we have. On the left, it's like the system is bad. We got to change it. Progress is good. Like if we try to stay stagnant, we will die. And people need more equal rights. Corporations have too much power. And the only way to do that is like for government to fight it. The right's going to say, yeah, but government is bad. And then like I think both can agree that, yeah, government's bad because it's been corrupted by these corporations and, big money people. But like that's what left and right is, right? It's like progress and tradition.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Hawaiian, how do you make sense of that? Because I deeply believe in tradition. I believe there's knowledge in our ancestors. Our blood is in this land. Like I will die for this land. That's hella right wing. But I also believe that our water should not be monopolized by one corporation. And if it is, the government should get involved and break it up, and they should represent the people. And that's very much left wing. So like when we have to choose, we lose. And I think our way of understanding the world, it incorporates a little bit of both sides.
Yeah, it seems like we're just constantly being put in this position of the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, especially with the presidency, it's like, okay, do I want this and all their flaws or this person and all their flaws? And then you kind of just choose. I mean, it's like, for me, I like to be in the middle, and for different times of the year or whatever thing is going on, I got a toe in the right, I got a pinky toe in the left, depending what it is. Because I just feel like the bipartisan system it doesn't work. Like it's too divisive. And if we could just have like, I don't know, a neutral party and just be like, okay, I support these issues on the left, I support these issues on the right. Or it doesn't even have to be a left or right issue, right? It's just like, I support this, I don't support this.
Yeah, and here's why. And lots of times when I explain to progressives why, like when you try to use the left-wing messaging, like, oh, there's progress is good. It's like, has progress been good for us? Like, it's doesn't always work. But when you use like the right-wing messaging of like, then it works for. It's just a weird thing. But also like moderation isn't that great either. Like when you do compromise in the American system, you end up with the stuff like the Affordable Care Act, like Obamacare, where it's like forcing everyone into insurance, and then like you give public tax dollars to insurance companies. Like no one likes that. Just if you're going to give money to people for insurance, give it directly to the people, or just give them insurance. It'll be cheaper. And you don't got to do all the middlemen trying to figure out who needs it more. Just like make it universal. That'll save a lot of money. But like the compromise makes it bad. Like it probably, I hate to say this, but it might even be better if you just privatized it all the way, or made it like most countries where just direct payments. But when you like the compromise actually makes it a really shitty policy, a bad policy. So yeah, it's like how do you lead with like some intelligence and a new way of doing things? At the turn of the century, like a lot of people know the story of Kuhillo,
Mm-hmm.
But I think not enough people know the story of Robert Wilcox,
Mm-hmm.
right? Vilikoki. And this guy, like me, he was elected very young, like 23 on Maui. Everyone was against him. The Pacific Advertiser at the time, which turned into Star Advertiser, was very much against him. They supported the annexation. They were very much a paper for the white folks that were against Liliuokalani and Kalakaua. But they did this propaganda campaign against him, and he wasn't supposed to win. But he ran as a third party, the Home Rule Party, Home Rule, and it was more based on nationhood for Hawaiians, and he shocked everyone. He won, and he won by a lot.
Mm.
And it's the Democrats and Republicans were like, wait, what? And I was thinking back to 2012. I'm like, I bet you if I ran as a third party, I could have won just because it was a red district. I was running blue, and I had a different message. And I was young, and I was just maniacal, knocking on doors. And I'm like, what if we did that now? What if some folks just kind of shook the cage a little?
Yeah, maybe the only person that can save us is BJ Penn. BJ
Come
Penn.
on, bro.
BJ. I'm a Hilo boy. It's just it's innate. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's a question that's gonna come up in the social media questions, anyways. But
no,
are you? Do you plan to run for politics?
Oh no,
again?
I don't think I don't. Yeah. I'm not saying it's it's me or one individual. I think there needs to be some kind of disruption. Hopefully, someone young, no baggage, kind of thing. But even beyond that, it's how do you create a structure where it's not you don't need some psycho to knock on doors for 8 hours a day to win and not care about any rich folks coming after them or their reputation. That's hard, and you can't expect that. There is a con, right? You ever heard of a constitutional convention?
No, I know Comic-Con.
Okay. You're gonna if you like Comic-Con, you might hate the con, but it's still interesting. So every 10 years in Hawaii, there's a chance to reconstitute everything, to change the constitution. The last time we did that was 1978, and it's when we created OHA. We created the laws that say you can't own beaches and you have public access and Richardson, stuff like that all happened then. It's really exciting. And it was a crop of young folks. John Waihee was 32 years old.
Oh, wow.
Leslie Hara, who's in the Senate, was 27. A lot of these people that didn't really have big political careers, but it served as a launch pad. But yeah, every 10 years it's on the ballot. So the next one is going to be 2028, and it's going to be a 50-year anniversary of 1978. And recently, it's 88, 98, the last 4, we haven't done it. And for good reason. I think KS, OHA's hey, let's not reopen Pandora's box. We're good. But I think a lot of people think we have more to gain than lose at this point on the government level. And also there hasn't been actually any organizing behind it. What if while we tried to gain support for the con vote, because it goes to the ballot and the people have to vote if they want a con or not. But what if while we're doing that, we're organizing delegates, 102 people to run, and there's guardrails. If you want to run with our group, you gotta support KS. You gotta support OHA, and these laws you got for Hawaiian rights, whatever. And then there are people that people like in the community. So while you're doing the ballot, it's here, this is who it's going to be on the con. Here's who's going to run. So I just don't think that's been tried. So it's always been fear, we can't reopen it. But it's been 50 years. It's just it's been generations.
You should do it.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna be me. It's gotta be everyone on board.
What does con stand for?
So a constitutional convention is where you elect a bunch of delegates and you basically rewrite the Constitution.
And is this nationally or just in Hawaii?
In the state? In the state. Nationally, there might be one in 2040, but when you rewrite a constitution, it means that you can change the way the voting works, the two-party system works, make third parties more viable. It's everything. It's not just we created OHA. You can also change the structures. You can have ranked choice voting where you can pick your favorites and rank them rather than just one the worst of two evils. You can, there's a bunch.
That's cool. I like that.
There's a bunch of different options that you could pursue, but it would have to be done at that level, the constitutional level.
I would add, if somebody does interrupt the shaka when you let them in front of you while driving, that's a federal offense.
That's maka.
That's maka. maybe not that, but like they get a mark
dictator.
or something. Yeah. I know that's why I can't be in politics. All my laws would be so bad. It'd be very biased. It would be like Super Bowl is an official holiday. The day football starts, official holiday. College football championship, official holiday. Basically a bunch of just sports stuff.
I trip how many holidays we already have, and I want more. Yeah, so I'll support you, bro. I'll support you.
Let's go.
I mean, you look at like how Hawaiians used to live. Like we didn't, didn't have to work 40 hours.
They had makahiki.
Yeah.
Right? They had a season when they're just cruising. We got to do that.
Yeah, there's this. So my partner Carl, she reads a lot of books about like plantation history and stuff. And there's these like white plantation owners that would be like, these Hawaiian guys. This is well documented. Like these Hawaiian guys, they're the best at like all the things. They can stand up the tent themselves. They can chop the wood. They can build the boat. Like these are the best workers that we have, but they're just not. They're not reliable because they don't thrift in the same way that like the Asian immigrants do, because they're not trying to actually build wealth. So when we try to incentivize them, like, hey, you get paid more, they're like, we don't really want to, because we can just go back in the community and like everything is shared and stuff. It wasn't even that mindset. So they're like, how do we get people that like can work as hard as them, but like it's an incentive to work for us and not just like go home and like, cruise their family and like build pilina and work for them. So it was always kind of a thing in our culture of like, we don't, if we can, we're capable and we can get the job done and we will get the job done, but like, we're not going to just work for work's sake, because there's more to life. Yeah,
totally. I like that. I think a good idea that would work in Hawaii too, if we're able to change the constitution, is siestas.
Oh, like 4 o'clock.
Siesta culture. I feel like
Sundays.
No,
or like in the middle of the day.
Middle of the day. It's usually, I think, between 2 to 4 or something. Everything.
Filipinos still have that.
Really?
It's called
because
like
it's Spanish colonized, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be great, and it would work perfectly for our culture.
Yeah, I mean, we already rush hour is like 3 o'clock, so we already kind of
and perfect, yeah.
I'm saying we're already kind of doing it. We're already leaving work at 3 o'clock.
That's true, yeah. But one day, yeah. I do want to talk about the KS stuff because I see these things on social media and I don't really read into them. I rather talk to people. So this is the best way for me to get my news. And I know you're very well educated. You're a Kamehameha grad. You're last time you were on the podcast, you talked about the beginning of Kamehameha Schools and how it was started, right? It wasn't originally just like a school for Hawaiians, right? Can we talk about that and let people know, especially me, just what's going on with like the admissions thing and the guy in Virginia?
Yeah. I mean, KS was always for a number of years under attack by people that had an agenda to try to get rid of the admissions. And they're usually folks that when you look at their track record, they've sued for like anti-civil rights, like kind of a lot of things on that far right end of the spectrum. And that's just, again, that's not party, that's ideology. Like it's objectively right-wing leaning policies. And yeah, they've ratcheted up in a new way where it's not even just like, oh, my kid didn't get in, I'm going to sue them and maybe make a lot of money, you know, get a settlement for $7 million like Cummings or, you know, people in the past. This is like somebody political that works in DC that organized 20,000 people to sign a letter saying like, we're kids withstanding here. And it's just like, no, this is like orchestrated. And it's just to undermine the whole idea of a school for Native Hawaiians.
Well, what is their issue with Native Hawaiians when they're in Virginia? I don't understand that.
Their argument is they want everything to be based in meritocracy, right? Which sounds great. It means you earn whatever you get in life based on your talents and skills and how much work you put in.
Okay, so nothing's given.
Nothing's given. But when you look at how schools actually have done their admissions over the years, legacy admissions, George Bush getting into Yale, even though he's kind of not the smartest guy, it's because your dad was there, right?
It's nepotism and stuff.
And it's just like if you talk to anyone successful, it's not even like throwing shade at them. It's like, how'd you get there? It's like there's always some element of luck or like oh, there's this one guy. It's all about relationships. They all say it's all about relationships. Now, what does that mean? It means like relationships with who? With poor Hawaiian kupuna, or like rich dudes who are generally, because of like the history of America, like older white guys. And how do you get relationships with those guys?
Yeah.
On the golf course, like, certain circles. So that's how like admissions have worked historically as well. So especially when you talk about these schools, they didn't even let women in or people that weren't white in until like the 50s or 60s. So then what does legacy admissions mean then? Like, how does your parent, your parent's going to be, like, if a brown parent wouldn't pass it on. So, like, they want to go back to that system. They think that system is more fair. So it's like, meritocracy sounds great, but, like, what are you starting from? And, like, what is the point of KS? It's actually, like, make things more fair. Because, like, Punahou and stuff wasn't necessarily, I mean, they're a lot better now, but they weren't really set up for working class Hawaiians.
Okay. Is this true? And I don't know if I've said this on a podcast. I've heard it. I don't remember. I think I remember who I heard it from, but I'm not going to say the name, just in case it's not true. But they said Kamehameha was, a school for Hawaiians, and then Punahou was mad, or people were mad that there wasn't a school, or there's a school for only Hawaiians, so they made Punahou another private school for all the haules.
I don't know if that was that order. I don't know if it happened in that order, but it was like Punahou was a school for missionaries, and the Hawaiians that were let in was mostly like political relationships where, the missionaries married with Arali'i and stuff. It was like that kind of Hawaiians.
Okay.
But like, I think the mission of KS is they knew that we needed more actual Hawaiian leaders that weren't just part of the Big Five sort of, oligarchy.
Okay. So there's a little truth to it. Not.
I don't know. I don't know the order. This is why learning history is important, because you got to put which one comes first, and I don't know, unfortunately. Okay. Someone will know.
Okay. So this is happening. They basically want to open up admissions to anybody, regardless of their race. Is that race? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And I remember when I was in high school, I remember there was this one kid that got into Kamehameha, right?
Yeah.
Because the mom was complaining or something.
Yeah,
and
Braden.
Oh, okay. You know who that is?
Yeah, there was a couple guys. There's one on Maui too that was...
So is this similar to that time, but just on a bigger scale? Because do they let people who aren't Hawaiian in Kamehameha at this point?
They do. So there's something called affirmative action law that KS had to argue that they're affirmative action. And that requires, one of the few requirements is like no absolute bar, which means you can't be 100% Native Hawaiian. So they always let in a few. They also have the preschool that's not for just Hawaiians too. So they could argue like that's part of it. But what this group did is they tried to eradicate affirmative action completely through their lawsuits and, having a friendly Supreme Court to them. So they went after Harvard first and they won that. And now they're using that precedent, that established law from that case to come after KS. So it's a little different. Like it's harder to use like affirmative action now as like, because like it doesn't exist in the same way because of the same group.
So I don't, okay, but I
it's a little technical, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also not a lawyer. It's just.
Yeah. No, I love your mana'o, so mahalo for sharing. What do we have to do? Here we're a little island in the middle of the Pacific, most isolated living spot in the world. Why do these people who aren't living here like have an issue? It's like, I don't go to your house and tell you what to do, right? I don't tell you, hey, put your slippers back on and walk around the house with your dirty shoes, Like, why are people coming at us? I don't understand it.
That's a good question, man. I think it's just the mentality, the colonial mentality. I think they see an institution like KS that has billions of dollars, that has a lot of land, and frankly, power because of that. And they see them not conforming to like the, corporate American way of doing things, kind of taking it their own direction. And let's be real, KS has been becoming more and more Aina-based, more and more rooted in Olelo and our culture. And it's not shocking to see certain folks viewing that as a threat.
So they're not right-winged, they're white-winged.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, to me, there's a reason why that diversity is not a feature of that side.
It's so I don't understand it enough to have like an intelligent response. I just know, like, I'm always same with okay, I'm gonna stand with my people.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I mean, I think
Yeah.
just to preface, like, I think I went upset with people when I said, like, you know, right is white, because it's not. But when you look at Trump, people are like, that's right wing. He's not necessarily right wing. When he actually ran to the left of the Republican Party, he ran against hedge funds. I remember him saying that. Wall Street, he said they're ripping us off. He said no more foreign wars, like, you know, stop wasting all that money. And what else did he say? Oh, like, these corporations are corrupt and all that. They're corrupting our government. And that's all left wing stances.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't free market Republican stances. Tariffs, not. I don't know if that's left or right, but it's like nationalist. So he basically turned the Republican Party to a nationalist party that, as a Hawaiian, nationalism doesn't sound that bad. Now, when it's American nationalism, it gets kind of weird. It gets into like the Nazi territory, right? But like, I think that's what drew so many Hawaiians to Trump. They're like, oh, bro, he's like, he talks about America the same way I talk about Hawaii.
That patriotism,
Yeah,
which
that
is
patriotism,
which is Aloha Aina
America
for us.
first. But
Yeah.
for us, it's like Aloha Aina.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why I have a lot of empathy. I don't like write off Trump voters, because a lot of them are like more closely aligned to my views than I think a lot of people give them credit for. And to me, that comes from like when I first ran for office, it was a white district, and I just knocked on doors. And when you actually knock on doors, like thousands of doors, you realize like people aren't that political. First of all, they're just doing their day-to-day life, and like they have mixed views, and you can just talk to them. But like if you ask a pollster, they're like, no, like they're never gonna agree with you. And like, so you know, I have a soft spot in my heart for like people that have voted for Trump, that maybe they voted for Obama before that, maybe they never voted before that, but like they're just sick of the system and they have a lot of pride in their home. And like, I think they're closer than we think. And they think they're right wing because they think Republican means right and Democrat means left. But really, like, the Donald Trump's Republican Party is not really right wing. That's like Romney, you know. That's
So it's a bit of ignorance, a bit of misinformation. For us, it's like we see the extremes of each side, right? So we easily categorize this. If somebody's doing this, you are left. If somebody's doing this, you are right, because we only see the extremes, right?
Yeah,
So we don't know the little nuances
they're
in
like,
between.
oh, I'm like, so I asked them, like, what is left then? If you think that's right, and they go, oh, that's like trans folks in sports. I'm like, that's not really like left wing. Like, you know, left wing is like, do you think workers should have more power in a corporation? Do you believe like unions are sometimes needed to fight back against like big corporate power? Like, that's left wing. Like, it's a different. People are just not quite. I think they're fed a lot of lies.
Yeah. Do you think people in this generation were a little soft, or maybe we have it too good? I know there's a lot going on with the violence. Do you think we might have it a little too good, where we're just starting to create problems? I mean, because I've lived in underdeveloped country, in developing nations, and I see things that are worse than what we have here. And then, like, I do, when I see things come up, especially from the younger generation, and you know, a lot of times it's left, because conservatives, they're always going to be the same. Nothing new is coming up. You know, I'm just like, is that really an issue? There's like literally people dying and starving. You know.
That's true, bro.
So I that's just my viewpoint.
Yeah, I mean, okay. First of all, to cap the thing, left and right in the American context, people get hung up on it. I don't think it works for Hawaiians. We got to create our own thing. So there's that. On the point you're making, I don't like to blame the people. I don't like to blame any individual people. I like to blame, like, I like to think about the systems that cause it. Because, like, if we're all thinking a certain way, it's not like we're all stupid. Like, something's happening that's kind of drawing us there. And, like, yeah, you go to somewhere else, people have, like, 4 T-shirts. They'll have, like, one dress shirt, one work shirt, one, you know, day-to-day, one home shirt. And, like, they're happy. And they look at us in America like, why do you need 50 or 60 shirts? And it's like, I don't know. Maybe
because he's doing it.
He's doing it, and the ads, like, they keep telling me, I need a new shirt. I might get that shirt though. I might say that's a sick shirt.
Yeah.
But, like,
Well,
I like to look at, but it's like, but there's also like we create these like standards for ourselves that don't even make sense really when you go back into like our into where we come from, and that's not necessarily. I mean, we can pretend like it's our fault and like we can rise above it, but man, it's like we're constantly getting fed the ads, you know, about like how much money we should spend on food. Like it's crazy. I end up for my family sometimes like $3,000-4,000 a month on food. I'm like, maybe I gotta cook more, maybe I gotta go to Sam's Club, and it still costs that much, you know, even if you don't eat out. So it's just like, you know, they keep moving the needle, and we're just trying to just figure it out. But it does create more problems than it should.
Yeah, it could be a mix of we live in a developed nation and social media.
Yeah,
I think,
we also gotta do better. Like we can just simplify our lives. Like that is true.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, it's more of like pressures of society, and you know, wanting to keep up with the Joneses, or whatever that saying is.
That's
and, for some of the people who are like, I have so much respect for the people who don't have social media, who, you know, wear the same clothes all the time, bust up slippers. Like, they have more, I guess, confidence in who they are than I feel like a lot of us, you know, because like, as much as I want to wear my slippers at the red carpet events and stuff like that, there's a certain point where like I conform.
I don't know, bro. I feel like you're more honest about who you are than a lot of people.
Well, I am, but what I'm saying is, there's some things in life where I still conform, you know?
Yeah. It's
and because
inevitable.
of like,
and it's not always a bad thing. That's the essence of community too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Community is conformity.
I guess I guess depends what you're conforming to.
Exactly.
But yeah, I just feel like maybe there are people who kind of don't have direction. They don't really know who they are yet, and they're just trying to grasp claw at identity, right? So maybe that's it, and people are lost.
We're just lonely too.
Yeah, we're lonely.
Like,
gotta get out of the house.
I know people like to listen to these podcasts because it's like, and this is me too. Like, it just feels like you're hanging out. And, like, you miss hanging out.
Story.
You miss hanging out with your boys.
You guys are all on this couch with us.
Yeah, because you miss hanging out with your boys in high school, and it's like the way it's set up now. It's hard. It's hard to like, you know, you feel like you're stealing people's time when you just talk with them. Like they should be working. And
yeah. Well, this is why it's cool. And I was like, I just want to talk stories with Kaniela.
Yeah.
Because we've been exchanging messages on Instagram recently, so I was just like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I think the loneliness thing is like we cop out through like consumption and stuff like that. I think that's
trying to fill the void.
Yeah, fill the void.
We could get very psychoanalytical here.
I was kind of that guy though. That was like kind of like I don't really like social media that much. I wore my shirts inside out, like not to turn the logo, just guitar, long hair. But then when I realized like if I want to actually like fight back against the way things are, I got to be more public. So that's when But yeah, I think I'm happier. Like I was in Alaska for like a week and a half, and you know, just wilderness living and no phone, like seaplane kind
grounding. It's because we're getting away from the EMFs and we're, you know, recharging with the PEMFs.
It felt good. Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah.
You said something with Kamakapili the other day. I was like, he was talking about the idioms and
the Hawaiian
lunchtime.
Idioms? Yeah, kaukalai kalolo.
Kaukalai kalolo. Yeah, the sun above the brain.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like where that's coming from. It's like, it's us oriented around nature and not the other way around. It's not like nature oriented around us, which is like how we generally look at it in the West. And I was like, fuck, that was in our language. It's like our position in nature, not, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it makes sense when you look if you look at more Olelo no Eao, right? He ali'i ka aina he kaua ke kanaka.
Yeah.
You know, we've always been second to the land.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So, I mean, when we talk about the sun, and we go based off, when we have time, we go based off the sun and not our own, like we don't create time. You know, we're at its will, you know, with the sun, the moon, and, you know, all of that. It's like, I think we forget, like, we don't control these things. We want to control everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like I think we're getting that Aina-based thing like generally now. Like we're doing better. Like a lot of people in generations like, oh, we gotta be like in Kalo, we gotta be Mahiai a little bit more.
And we don't do it when we want to do it. We do it when the moon tells us to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But like, how do you reflect that in our politics is always that's like my thing. It's like, how do you make rather than left and right, how do we just make everything Aina based? And I think if we can let that guide us, we can unite. And if we can't, you know, we'll just keep falling into these American buckets.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff happening. Like we're about to do a community day with the nation, you know, in Waimanalo.
Yeah.
With
jam with them.
Brandon and all of them. So we'll be announcing that maybe in the next episode. Well, I guess it's a sneak peek, but we're gonna do a Keep It Aloha Aina Day. We're gonna have a joint
right.
Aina Day.
Oh, that's good.
But it's cool to see what they're doing. They're making small steps, and I love the progress that they're making. But I think, yeah, I'm just excited about our future because our generation, the younger people, it's like eventually we're gonna be in power, and I think things are gonna start to look a lot different.
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting though because I came in here. I started like in my 20s, and I made decisions that made me an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats are really blowing it right now. Just going to say that they are. Their approval rating is lower than it's been in my life, in locally especially. But a lot of my peers, they like kind of became, Pirates of the Caribbean,
Mhm.
one with the ship, one with the ship.
Yeah.
So like it's not just the generation when that's happening to and I got ostracized quite a bit, like with my stance on the military and be like Monsanto, a lot of these things, and I don't know, like I think it's going to take a lot of work, and as much as I'm hopeful and optimistic as you, we can't just like chalk it up to the generational change will fix our problems. Like we got to actually be active and make it happen.
Yeah.
And there's going to be people in our generation that disagree with us too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like right now, you can choose to be a Democrat, and then you can either become one with the ship, or you can fight them, and then after a while they push you out and they sue you, they attack you, they do all the things. Or you can be a Republican like Brenton and not get anything done because you don't have the power. And he'll tell you that. Those are the two choices.
I know, it's a lose-lose situation.
Lose-lose. But you're right. I think in 20 years, like we could change things, but like it's not gonna be like it's not gonna just happen.
Yeah.
We gotta take action every day and plan it out right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about, the home rule party, the con, like anything we can think of that's like big. We should think big.
Yeah. Do you have any regrets from your time? Like, do you think, because you said you were ostracized, do you think like because of that, like you're not allowed to do certain things now? Like, do you wish you'd done things differently? Because you can almost have to like, and to them, it's like you became a part of the shift because when they see you, like, oh, he's a Democrat, they're not gonna look at the little, nuances in between, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, to me, when I was knocking on doors, they're like, we need a new high school. If I ran as a Republican, I would have never gotten that. And that's my job. If you're a representative for a district, you should deliver for the district. If they tell you they need something, deliver. Unfortunately, in Hawaii, that means going with this one party that is mostly still controlled by a lot of the same folks that controlled us after overthrow. It'd be like all those big corporations. Now, like, I don't necessarily regret that because I wasn't thinking like, well, maybe I could do a home rule party kind of thing like Wilcox. I'm kind of thinking more like that now. But even Wilcox took cracks, and but he also took really big risks. Like the dude started a rifle association. He organized all these people, trained them up in guns, and stood outside the palace and shot a bunch of American military members for 2 days.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the Wilcox Rebellion. You hear about this?
No. I might have learned about it in high school, but I don't remember.
Yeah, Kuhillo was there.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, and
Kuhillo Lewis from CNHA?
yeah. Well,
text me back, Kuhillo.
Kuhillo likes to be Kuhillo.
Yeah.
They're doing some good stuff too. Shout out. But like, if he's Kuhillo, I'm Wilcox in this story. But
yeah, exactly. Perfect.
But the thing about so that happened. They get locked up, and they're so popular. And there's a Hawaiian jury because that was like the law at the time. Hawaiians had to go in front of a Hawaiian jury. That Dole, the only president ever, by the way, of Hawaii, pardoned them. And they served a term of like a year or whatever. And then when they got out, it was like a Nelson Mandela of Hawaii. Like they were elected instantly. All of them. Navahi, Wilcox, and Kuhillo. Now Wilcox went harder, and then they are all part of this home rule party. Like they all like started this new party, and they went for it, and they shifted everything up. And they had big demands. Like we all say, Kuhillo started homesteads, like Hawaiian Homestead Act, but like really that was more of a compromise because the home rule party wanted much more. But then the Kuhillo like broke off with them after a while. He had lunch with Baldwin at Pacific Club and decided to run as a Republican. But it was like a choice. It's like you build a movement and then it gets absorb into something else. Some people are cynical and say it's co-option. Other people are saying like that's how things move. And then he like took it over the finish line basically in Congress. But that all happened. Like they were radical. They went for it. You know, like they
That's what you're
defended the
talking about. We
queen.
gotta go big.
They bled. Well, I'm never advocate for violence, like for real. But like that's a different context.
Well, go big in a different way.
Yeah, in a different way.
Yeah.
But like they also tried con. They tried a bunch of stuff. But like even when you shoot big, even if you fall short, it's much farther than if you think marginally.
Has anybody ever pretended to be one party and then as soon as they got elected, they just was like, psych, I'm actually like a Republican?
It's funny you mentioned that, man. A lot of guys are like trying to do stuff like that these days because like you realize they don't really mean anything. Yeah? Like I think a lot of people are Democrats are like, oh, if you just switch to Republicans, you're like things will change. Like no, if you switch, if Hawaii's legislature turned Republican, all the corporations that are like corrupting the Democrats will just switch to. Like that's how the system works. And we had lingo. We tried things before, you know. So it has to be deeper than that. But yeah, like there are people that switch parties, like, you know, Aaron Johansson switched to Democrat, Tulsi switched to Republican.
Yeah.
It's just,
But that's after, then they run as a Republican.
yeah.
Like, I mean, because if you want to win anything in Hawaii, we're so blue. Just run as a Democrat and then just, Brenton should just run as a Democrat.
In his district, though, it goes either way. And I think it like says something when it's like you're willing to be an outsider. But like, if you look at where the National Republicans stand on stuff and the issues, it's not pro-Hawaiian. And I think he's starting to see that now. Like you get pulled into, eventually you get pulled into that one of those buckets, and it just hurts. I felt that from the other side. I had to support like Biden while he was doing the stuff in Gaza. Like I didn't want to support that guy, you know. So
I feel like standing out like someone like Brenton, where you know the people love him, but nothing is ever gonna. It reminds me of Mark Kiliho Malue, the Merry Monarch, right? There's these, you know, this jury that's always gonna keep things the way it is, right? It's always gonna be blue, and he's never gonna win, even though the people love it. It's like, how does he not win every single year? Like Brenton brings all these things to, you know, social media, and us normal everyday people are like, yes, he's fighting for us Hawaiians, and you know, we're like, how come nothing ever passed? Like he's never gonna win because it's in that party, you know.
I mean, he had this speech where he like calls out the people, his colleagues, and the money they're taking. And you don't know how many times I wanted to do that when I was in office, bro. But like, you do that, and they're not gonna vote for your stuff. Like that's all your stuff is dead, and your community is screwed.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't go that far, but I pissed him off in other ways. But I'd always find a way, like just through Aloha, to like win them back. I think for Brenton, it's too far gone with his colleagues. So you know, there's that balance, but like, it shouldn't be like that. It should be like decorum, and like having Aloha with your colleagues doesn't mean like not exposing their corruption. Like there shouldn't be corruption to begin with. You know, like the fact that you got to raise all this money and then like not say that you're voting for this bill, even though you took all this money from it, like that shouldn't be the reality. And you can, that's a function of the political system and the flaws in it, and like they change it. So you can't, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, Brendan's approaching this wrong, or I did it right, or I did it wrong. It's just like, we're trying to navigate the best we can from where we are.
That's a good way to put it. Right on. Before we get into the shishi break, we didn't get to talk about your music last time you were here.
What you mean?
we didn't get into your whole music. You dropped a couple songs. I think 2023 you dropped stuff, right?
I mean, I put like a couple just like mess around kind.
Yeah, and then you have couple...
I recorded like probably 20 songs. I just didn't release them because, you know, it's not what I do.
Yeah,
you probably have stuff
it's
you don't
just
like.
For fun.
Yeah,
I write poetry and stuff.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's more about that. It's more about the process. Of,
yeah. So it's just kind of more like a creative release.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's like if you don't, I think like in your Virgil Abloh, the guy from Off-White, he said like, everything I do is to make the 15-year-old version of myself proud. Maybe it's 17. But like, that's really what it is. And in your 20s, you work so hard trying to grow up real quick, if you're like us, and you like kind of leave that behind. But then I think when I hit my 30s, I'm like, this isn't me. I mean, it's part of me, but like, I really got to bring back that like musician Kaniela that was just kind of chill.
I feel that. It's one of those things where I don't really write anymore because, you know, in my 20s, I was writing, I have tons of notes, poems, rhymes in my notes, and it's something that I really haven't done just because life got so busy, right?
Yeah.
But it's, with the book, I want to maybe do a book every year. So I think I'll get into that more creative space.
That's awesome.
soon,
Especially
yeah.
when you have kids, bro. It's like you see that stuff that
Yeah.
lights up their eyes, and you're like, oh, I used to be like that. Like, I should, if I want him to like follow their passions, I should like at least model that.
Well, Step Brother said it the best. Never lose your dinosaur. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's what it is.
I always remember that. Right on. Oh, actually, you almost just skipped over your whole music stuff. You kind of just brushed it off. You have a couple good songs. I was listening to some. I like the lyrics. I mean, I'm also a lyric guy. People know that I'm over lyrics
yeah.
over melodies.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. It was something about like pulling out of the land or I forget what song it was. I'll show you. But I really like that line. I should have written it down.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you write a song and it's lyrics for it, it requires a lot of thoughts and edits. So it's basically like I don't know if this is probably the case for most musicians. It's like you have a melody, you comes to you bring out your voice memo app on your iPhone and you record it. So I have like probably from 2006, probably thousands of those voice memos. And then when you're on a plane and there's nothing to distract you, no internet, then you just like open those voice memos and you open your note app and you start writing. The note app could have like 3,000 words because of some concept you're like riffing on, and then you got to just keep synthesizing it and pushing it down till it's just like 40, 30 words. That's hard. That's harder than writing a speech or an essay. It's like you got to really get to the core of it. So I love that exercise. Just the exercise is like you got to know the topic. You're gonna do that. Yeah.
What is that speech you had? It was like maybe 2 months ago. You posted it on Instagram. What were you talking about?
Oh, North Carolina one?
Yeah.
Or the bandstand Iolani? Or the
I think
North Carolina?
you posted it. It went pretty viral.
Oh yeah, that one went crazy. It was like 11 million or something.
Yeah. What were you talking about again?
Just the similarities, bro. Like I don't like I really mean it that we can build between like what we think is the left and the right. I was in North Carolina and I was talking to like the Uber drivers and the bartenders and stuff, and this is like Trump country, the area I was in, and they're like telling me they're like Trump voters. But we was chatting and we was making fun of people that fish in lakes and how gross the fish is because they're like coastal people. We're talking about growing up and the flips we used to do off of cliffs and stuff. This is like how it is, like what you would think from out there. And there's just so much in common. And then we started talking about like the pollution in the lakes and like how no one's doing shit about that, or like the government's not taking any action, and corporations just get away with everything. I was like, damn. So then when I went to the event, which I was there for, I just talked about that and real simple terms, but like brought in all the issues that are kind of esoteric, and then just laid out like solutions of like basically bring the land back to the people, stop giving our tax dollars to these corporations that pollute. Like why would we do that? And then bring back the village, and just like this idea of like, everything we yearn for is just the village again. And people with power have privatized everything and made us pay for it. Like they put us on their dole and then made us like buy it back. But we used to have aunties that like watch our kids. Now it's $3,000 for daycare. There used to be public spaces. Now people just hang out at the mall just to buy stuff. And it's like, no, we just want that connection and like the village back basically. And that just really resonated, bro. It's just the working class coming together. It doesn't matter like left, right, red, blue, and white, black. And shocking. Like political speeches even like Bernie Sanders, like speeches don't get 11 million. Like I was just like, whoa. Like, so I think there's something there that I'm going to try to riff on a little bit more, because I was just testing stuff out and it don't seem to hit in a different way.
Well, I think people just want community. They want to feel accepted and seen. It's a basic human needs, right?
Yeah.
And I think when you're, if you're new to a place too, and you don't really know where you fit in, you just want to find your crew, your lahui. Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, I think that's what it touched upon. Right on. Let's take a quick shishi break and we'll be right back.
After 175 years, some people still think we're just a ranch.
And we just farm all day.
What they don't realize is we wear many hats. And that's just how we roll. You just might see some old friends.
Or make some new ones.
So come hang with us.
Drive on out to the country.
And get that epic snap.
No matter what you're looking for, come discover where legends are made.
All right, we're back from a quick shishi break. Mahalo to my drink and shishi sponsor, Kella Sparkling Hot Water, for providing the best quality shishi in town. You're going to take some home and you see the quality shishi that I'm talking about. All right, let's get into the social media fan questions. First question comes from Hills Ku'uleilani. This person says, please run for office again, LOL. And then follows up by saying, how can we move forward together in a polarized political state for the betterment of all?
No, well, we kind of talked about
Yeah.
that. We got
Anything else too?
I just think the idea of a con and like figuring out ways that people can run for things outside of a two-party system is critical. Do I believe we can get there? Do I have a plan myself to get there? No, I think it's going to take a lot of minds coming together.
You know, I want to retract my statement. I said BJ Penn could be the one that saves us all. But actually, we need Bula Ia.
But I think there was something to those times. I was looking back at that, like how he just like the irreverence for the system. How he just, you know, it's like he just called Kayatano like a liar. just like straight up coming after him. Like,
you know, he's back on. He's back around Bula Ia.
oh,
He just started social media again, and we're gonna get him on the podcast at some point.
boy, it's just such a staple. Bro. I remember riding the bus in Makwa Elementary, and they'd be playing his cassette tape. And all the kids knew every lyric to every song, every skit in the 90s was crazy.
Yeah, we'll bring it back. We're going to popularize him again.
He must have been like younger than me. He must have been like, I don't know.
He's
those
probably
times.
in his like 50s, 60s now.
Yeah, so he was probably in his like 20s.
Yeah.
Then. Oh,
In his 50s, probably.
Smart.
Probably 50s, yeah. All right. Next question comes from Keeks Akdev. I think that's how you say it. This person says, your wife is a bad beep ASS. You can swear. I just don't swear. That's why people don't think we can swear on this podcast. How do you support her work and how can Hawaiians learn more?
yeah. Yeah, Kara is incredible. She inspires me every day.
Seems like when Hama.
She's in Hama.
Yeah.
She just can rise above like the people that hate on her, you know. She's an incredible mother. I think we support each other, but it's not like what people think. I think there's like when we get this a lot, when it's someone who's generally racist, they'll say, or leans racist. And I don't use that term lightly. I don't use it often. But they'll say something like, Kara controls everything Kaniela says. If it's someone sexist, they'll say, Kaniela is just controlling everything Kara says. But in reality, we completely do our own things. And like once in a while, we'll like talk, you know, pillow talk or whatever. But, you know, I'm almost like major in college. And like birds of a feather do flock together more than opposites attracts. And like we, you know, I think we learn a lot from each other day to day. I learn a lot about what it means to be a woman living in the world today. And how like our concepts of feminism that were shaped by like corporate white women doesn't always work with us. And there's like different ways of looking at like empowering women that are more in tune with like the reality of like living in a community of like, you know, immigrants or indigenous people. That's less of a turnoff. So yeah, as a shout out to her, I think people are like, they shudder at the term feminism sometimes.
I mean, her Instagram's decolonized feminism.
Yeah. So it's like critical of it, but it's also like, you know, pro. And I think like there's this Barbie idea of feminism. This is how I've learned from her. So I'm not, you know, talking on my ass here, but it's this Barbie idea of feminism that's like women are in power and men aren't, and then like men are and the women aren't, and then like, oh no, it's better this way. And it's like, no, like the whole point of feminism is that like there's a hierarchical thing where like one gender is above the other, and it should not be that way. And like when you look at what it means, even for men, like to live in a system that says men are better than women, and it's like what it means to be a man, it's like unattainable, bruh. It's just unattainable. You have Jeff Bezos, richest guy in the world,
a while back. He's taking steroids so he can hit that ideal. You have The Rock, Murph, man guy, feeling like he got to start like 5 more companies to make more money because he's still not quite there. And like you'll always feel inferior and always be comparing yourself. So even for like man rat, it's a moving goalpost. And like we just need to like just accept who we are. And there's just so many differences like within a sex or a gender. Like there are dudes that can lift way more than me. There are dudes that can't. There are women that are stronger than me, like straight up, much smarter than me. And it's like the variation within a gender, like a 90-pound guy, 300-pound guy is bigger than between the genders. So like, why do we get so hung up on like what is what? It's just like, just do you, be human, like fuck it. That's like my thesis. That's like my takeaway from the whole thing of like what feminism could be. Just like, just be comfortable with who you are and like get rid of hierarchies.
Yeah, I think everybody can do whatever they want to do. They're capable of doing what anybody can do. But then there's also some limitations. Like I don't expect women to be dunking like LeBron James, right?
Yeah, unless they can.
Yeah, unless they can. Which I haven't seen it, but there's certain limitations where it's just like sometimes some genders are more skilled at doing certain things than the others. But not saying, like you said, that was a great example.
And I will never be able to push my body to have a child. Like it's just there's certain things, like it's
exactly
just,
like we can't do that. We cannot do that.
So we gotta optimize our calories for other things, like throwing a football or whatever.
Exactly.
But like, what's more impressive, creating life or throwing a football? Like,
if you're Drew Brees, the greatest quarterback of all time, then that's what it is.
I'm just saying, like, it's just like a weird. It changed the way I looked at things in a generally really positive way that not just supports women, but actually like helps my own self confidence in a different way. Yeah.
Is it just me? But am I the only one that thinks growing a human inside of you is like alien?
It's nuts.
Isn't that like really crazy?
Yeah.
Like you literally grow a human inside of you. Are we not thinking about this enough?
Are you thinking about it? Are you about to have some kids soon?
No, I'm not. Okay. I'm not. But I just think
because when you're in it, when you're experiencing
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like where that's crazy. Like animal, like aliens do that.
And when they start moving, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and they're moving inside of it and they're living there. It's like that is an alien.
But it's like her body, like 100 pounds, can handle that. Like it's
I see some bellies get big.
Yeah.
And they're just hammering through.
Yeah.
Incredible. All right. Oh, how did you guys meet? Did I ask you that last time?
I don't know, bro.
I don't think so.
It's a good one though.
Yeah. Love a good meet cute.
The kind of guy on CNN asked us, so it got everywhere.
What?
Yeah, the guy had a show on CNN and he asked us how we met, and then he told us it was really cute. So our parents were like, "What?"
All right, well, spill the tea.
We have like a incarceration problem, right? Especially with Native Hawaiians. And they needed a new private prison. And I don't know if you know about private prisons. It's pretty nuts. Like the way it's incentivized is this company makes money the more people you lock up. So they're just like always trying to lock up more and more people. So they tried to build a new private prison in Hawaii, and I was vice chair of public safety, and all the legislators supported it except for me. Because, I read the reports about Hawaiians and stuff. And then everyone on her side of the table, all lobbyists for CCA, for the prison company, was supporting it. And Cara didn't. And she gave this, so I'm like all jaded, like, this is probably going to pass, this sucks. And she gives this testimony. I was like, the most brilliant thing I ever heard. And like, I'm the president of the Filipino Law Students Association. like all big body, I was like, oh. But then I looked at her, I was like, okay. Like, let's go.
So it's love at first speech.
For me, I don't know about for her. I think she might have a different story. I think she was hesitant because I was like in politics and the enemy. But I was like definitely on their side. So from there we kind of grew together. But it was like it was through the fight.
Wow, that's crazy. So you guys also been in this fight together.
We won that fight. No new private prison on all.
Wow, yeah, nice. And where's she from?
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. But is she Filipino?
She's half Filipino.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. Nice.
That's where it all comes from.
The strong genes.
I mean, that's
gonna look young forever.
Boo, that's kind of the project, guys. Like, if we can bring Filipinos and Hawaiians together, that's the majority. And it's like it's like the working class really united
And I think there's stories of like the union that happening with the strikes and all that against the plantation owners, but it actually goes before that. There was like cross-cultural unity, even like in those days I was talking about with Wilcox Rebellion and all that. So like that's the project. That's what we're trying to do in Lahaina, the crew, you know, like bringing together the immigrants and indigenous folks. And if we can do that, we win. But it's just hard because they divide us against each other. So anyways, like we try to live that out in our household, but also in our work.
How's it raising 2 boys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Is it, I mean, you guys are molding them as like mini me's. I feel like, you know.
No.
I think it's cool because I think when you're a boy dad, you kind of want them to do what you're doing, right? Like if you're a football player, you want them to play football, and like I like how you're involved with them. You know, I guess I'm not saying you're trying to make them like you, but you involve them in the things that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's interesting to think about. I never really thought of it that way. But I look back, you go to your high school reunion and you're like, wow, they all became their dads. It is a thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. I used to go hunting with Uncle Les, and now Keone is like bringing 3 deers to the reunion, which is cool. But also like, the fact that I didn't have that, like my dad passed away when I was young, kind of like I don't see that in myself, I guess. But with them, I don't know. You can see both of us really strongly, especially in the older one. Just incredible to witness, bro. It's just you just miss the days when they're young though, because they're already kind of
so fast.
The 6-year-old just stopped being a toddler, right? So it's like, oh, they're like boys now.
Yeah,
they wrestle, they do all the things.
Yeah, I guess the closest thing for me is just gonna be seeing my nieces and nephews go to that stage. The oldest one is 5. So getting to that stage, and there's still they're still popping out. Yeah, so there's always the whole age spectrum.
I already missed it, like the pitter patter. Like the little one, thankfully, he's like the older one. So Kara's dad was in the NHL. He's like
really?
Yeah, he's like a serious athlete, big guy. So Laguna kind of takes after him. He grew up. He was like 99th percentile height. The little one is like he takes after the Ing side and like the Filipino side.
Yeah.
And he stays small. So I'm savoring it. I'll just carry him. I'll carry him everywhere, like at the mall. And he likes being carried. He doesn't care. So I'm gonna kind of savor that, and it's gonna be like the parable of the guy who carries the calf up the hill. Like I'm gonna get stronger. So when I'm like 60, I can still carry him. He's 40, I'm still carrying him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, that's the hope.
Yeah. You ever read that book? It's like the bathroom. It's like something about the mom, like the little kid and the mom's taking care of him, and then he gets older and now he's taking care of the mom.
Yeah. Oh, it's so, bro. That's
it's like the sweetest book ever. Yeah.
If you're emotional at all,
my mama you'll be. Like I remember it goes like that. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of, like with you and your kids.
Oh, those books are there's so many just kids books that you read and it just punch you in the gut, bro.
Yeah, I remember my mom would always read that to us. All right. Next question comes from Possum Party. This person says, "When's the next single dropping?"
I don't know. It's like the thing is like when you have these songs, you don't really want to release them because you don't want to be cringe and like you're not like Glenn. Like
you're not gonna be the next.
I gotta say, bro, like the level since we was kids with like typical Hawaiians, love typical Hawaiians, solid guys, but like the level of like instrumentation and mixing and all that compared to now, the professional quality of it, it's night and day, bro. It's like Pop Warner and NFL. So like I feel like my stuff is like pretty good for like the 2000 standards, but for now, like it's like mix my own stuff and
it's like the fun high school days.
Yeah, like back then,
band kind.
I mean, even if you listen to like like Mauli's first songs, like No One, for example, like if you listen to the quality of it on like a modern speaker, you're like, oh, the standards are really right. So it's kind of like you get kind of nervous, but and you also like it's like, oh, I gotta put out a music video or a skit or something just to like just to be like everybody else. But I might just throw them out there and just might as well.
Yeah,
because the messages are all like, it's not all political, but there's all something about community and.
Yeah, you have one where you're singing Aloha Hawai'i too.
Yeah.
I
have a few.
Yeah. All right. Well, stay tuned. Check them out on Spotify.
Yeah, well,
All right, next question comes from Andrew Mishina. Shout out to my high school classmate, Andrew. I haven't seen this guy in a while. I didn't even know he followed the podcast. So shout out to Andrew. He says, could we subsidize local agriculture to make it more affordable for locals and export?
that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with agriculture is the subsidies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what we're subsidizing is the problem. Because you have a corporation like Monsanto that's now Bayer that will, if you ever watch any of those documentaries, they basically took over all the small farmers and big farmers across America by like introducing Roundup and then a type of crop that's engineered to handle the Roundup. And then you basically forces everyone to grow it, and then like if you don't grow it, you get sued because the stuff will blow into your neighbors. It's like they monopolized it basically. So if you look at the subsidies, it's like their crops: corn, soy, like rice, their golden rice, and it leaves little room for farmers to grow like what they need for their communities. So like the biggest farmers and there's like a surplus of corn. So that's why you see like corn syrup in a lot of products, even though like why would there be corn in here? It's because of that. Even gas stations have ethanol. It's because we're subsidizing corn. So I think it's just as much a matter of like eliminating those subsidies, which sounds more right wing, than it is as like subsidizing new things, because we can't subsidize at a state level enough to combat the subsidies at the federal level. So we'd have to get rid of those at the same time, and then like create a department of food rather than a department of corporate ag, where it's like of local food, where it's actually like, we have this government agency that's going to help you actually grow local food that your communities. We're going to do studies of what people really need to feed themselves and cook, and then we're going to grow that. That's the dream. But like, there's so many forces that we gotta fight against to get us there.
Who decides what to subsidize? Is it the state?
It's both, right? There's the federal government and the state government.
Okay.
But like the big farm bill is like through the federal government, and that really shapes not just Hawaii or U.S. policy, but like global food policy.
Okay, so like kalo, ulu, like those were never ever options.
There are options, and then there's obviously like on a small level, like people doing it, and we had to pass a law back in the day that made pa'iai illegal to.
Daniel
sell.
Anthony.
Yeah,
did that.
Yeah. He was one of the people that were really advocating for it. So like, there's stuff we can do at the local level, but to scale it out to the point where we're actually like change how we eat and change the food supply and the costs, that's gonna unfortunately take some federal action as well.
What's your diet like, or I guess your lifestyle? Because you like to stay in shape. You did the Spartan race. I wanted to do it too. My physical therapist told me next year we can do it because I'm still recovering. But it looks so fun.
It's fun, man.
It looks so fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Even that, I was like, some people on the left were like, that's right wing. I'm like, oh, it's just a race, you guys. Like, relax.
No, people will find anything to be like, that's wrong, or why are you doing that? Yeah.
So we just gotta be more normal and community oriented. But yeah, it was weird. There was like ICE recruiting people there, so I don't really support that. Yeah, but anyways, so there was that. But anyways, it was a lot of fun. And then I think like I in terms of diet, I just eat like normal basically. But it depends. Like sometimes if I want to really get in shape for something, if it's like a race or like Car is making me do this family photo shoot and I'm gonna be in a model. And we're gonna post it. Like, okay, I gotta get in shape for that, or like I might as well.
You're like a UFC fighter. You have your camps, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you're just doing whatever. It's 6 weeks from the fight, then you gotta start.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Basically, but it's like high protein. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you don't have any dietary restrictions.
Just as much protein as I can.
What about like biohacking? Are you into any of like the sauna cold plunge supplements? Any of the stem cells, PRP, peptides?
Just basic. No, I don't do it. I'm 100% natty. I mean, you can tell I'm not huge. I'm not huge, but like, I try to.
Horse tranquilizers.
No, I mean, just protein.
Yeah.
If I really want to focus on strength a little bit, I'll do like creatine.
Okay. Do you do like ultra marathon, Ironman? Are those goals of yours?
No,
marathons?
So I haven't dabbled in that. I try to keep it like 6 miles max.
Oh, okay.
In terms of like how I run, I more just do like gym.
Okay.
There's like the Croc Center in the West Side, so you can like the kids can swim.
Kara can read her book, and I can just go gym. Same membership, like
Okay, nice.
water slides.
Oh, the water slides?
Yeah. So I do that for like my back days, and then I'll just do like chest in the garage. Like I'll have a bench.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, last question comes from Ozzy Kage. He says, if you could change one thing about Hawaii, what would it be?
Ooh. I don't know. I think I'm optimistic, kind of like you. Like when I get questions like that, I just think of all the good things I love about Hawaii and the things I don't want to change.
Oh, okay.
It's like where my brain goes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have a chance to literally reconstitute the whole way the system works. And right now, I'm pretty excited about that possibility. Again, I don't know how likely it is, but I think I'm just trying to think about our kupuna during the Hawaiian Renaissance in the 70s, how bold they had to be, and how they did really stick their neck out. And more on that story, like, why and them there, but Frenchie Tesoro was there too. And this was when like Kaolava is popping up. So she called Uncle Walter and was like, hey, can you just come down here as my volunteer staff? And he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll be there in like today. And he didn't even bring clothes and he just went. And he started knocking. This is like peak, newspapers, everything. And he just went door to door in the hotel and just talked to everyone. So it wasn't a given that we would have won all this stuff for Hawaiians. Like it was like the right moment. All the right forces were aligned. The Olelo, the Ku'e, and then the Con was called. And it was like the people, like just a handful of individuals had to like carry the torch for the Lahui, and they just hit it. And I think we could do something like that again. Just that we haven't been thinking that way in a long time.
Yeah, or I guess we have more to lose maybe with our image maybe on social media. It's like we don't want to fail in public.
That's true
right?
too.
I think that could be a big reason
I know,
as well.
you call for something and then yep.
Yeah, exactly. Or like you're getting a rally together, post it on social media, 2 people show up, it's like
that happens. That happened to me a few times.
Yeah.
And then we also had ones where you think 20 people show up and 300 people show up, so you never know.
Yeah. What are the things you do love about Hawaii, since you were saying like, oh, there's some things you don't want to change? What do you think we're doing right here?
I think there's like I can't talk about the broader thing because I'm in a bubble that's like the Lahui, so I can speak to that first. Or I can. So locally, I think there's been a thing about local culture not really like kind of waning in the 2000s and 2010s, where you had like the Bulaia, all that, and then all of a sudden it was like less and less. And as we globalized and as the internet started to proliferate, we became more like boilerplate common denominator American in the way we talk, what we read, what we consume. I think like probably since 2015, definitely in the 2020s, that's changed quite a bit. Like Foodland, if you look around, like everything feels super local all of a sudden. Like the Lihimoy stuff is all back. Like everything's kind of coming back. And that's really cool on like a local, not even just like a native Hawaiian level. So I feel like our generation, it's like kind of nostalgia. Like we grew up a certain way as kids, it fell off, and then now that we're like get to do the art for marketing and stuff, and the products, we're like kind of
Bringing it back.
we just miss it. Yeah, that's great. And then on the Lahui front, like I think we're done with the divisive debates. Like when we brought a bunch of like generational people together, and like what we need to do in a recent meeting, there's only like 2 folks that brought up a Kaka bill, for example. And they were like in their 70s, and they said their piece, and then they moved on to the next topic. Like we don't have to get so caught up in these like debates that we're never going to win to begin with. They're like kind of false, like strawman arguments that were thrown at us by people that didn't really have our interests, and it just divided us for so long. And I think our generation is starting to feel that as a Lahui. Like we can put those aside and start from Aina and then grow out of that.
How do you feel about all like the civil warring of like Hawaiians with each other, whether they have different sides? It could be as anywhere from sovereignty to something on social media that they don't like, to the Trump stuff. Like, we hear the crabs in the buckets. We hear the, Hawaiians always fighting with Hawaiians, trying to bring each other down. How do you feel about all of that? And do you think it's pretty real? Do you see a lot of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could do better, but I gave a talk on the 4th at the bandstand where it was like for decades, like we were called the crabs in a bucket. That like when one Kanaka starts to rise, the rest will pull them down. But that's a fiction that makes us look down and blame other crabs. But like, why are we in this bucket to begin with? Who's holding the bucket? And why are they shaking the bucket? Like that's happening, right? Like who put us in there? And I think we're starting to see that. Whether it's like the way the economy is structured or the politics is structured, because ultimately, like, we all just want our hole to live in, you know, but we want to be on the beach. And I think the crabs in a bucket narrative is destructive, and it's one meant to have us looking at each other rather than the actual guy holding the bucket.
Yeah, that's good. It's a systematic problem. It's like kicking us off of the beach, putting us in a bucket.
Yeah.
No more space on the beach.
And
Can't afford the beach.
shaking it whenever we try to climb out, and then they'd be like, "Oh no, it's that guy." It's like,
Yeah. Huh. I never thought of it like that. We just want the beach. We just want our land.
yeah.
Wow, awesome. All right, mahalo everybody for the social media fan questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. All right, so coming to the back end of the podcast, I like to ask all of my guests the same question about keeping it aloha. It's the name of the show. It's the name of my book. It's something I try to do every single day of my life. It's always a struggle, but I try to do it to the best of my ability. I want to know, in your life, how do you keep it aloha?
Ooh. Yeah, it's hard. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. If they're telling me they're coming from a place, I don't impute their motive. I just accept that's where they're coming from. It's hard when you're experiencing politics because people do have angles. But when you approach people skeptically, they feel that, and then it just erodes the trust on both ends. So I think when you come in like, you know, you're telling me you're here for this reason, I believe you. Like, let's go, let's dig in. Also, I do the music stuff. I think that keeps me at peace. It's a more internal aloha. But yeah.
Do you gig?
I used to quite a bit. Not anymore. Not enough time. But
Yeah.
it might be fun once I get the 9-year-old like.
Yeah, I was
ukulele
gonna
and
say if
stuff.
you guys do it together.
Yeah,
Father son
exactly.
kind of thing.
Exactly.
Maybe start with a talent show, see how the crowd reacts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because that one, no more shame, yeah. Because I remember I think when you came on last time, it was around the time where you had your son.
Oh, the
at
Lincoln
the
Day stuff.
Lincoln Day,
Oh,
yeah.
that was crazy.
That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because you gotta have some cojones for that.
Yeah, he charges. Yeah, he charges. I mean, I feel like not that I would push him to do this, but if you're I think he'll be ready to. I ran for office when I was 23. I think he could do it at 18 and win.
What? Wait, so 18's
he was
the
like,
minimum age.
Yeah, because he's like 6 years old, and he's like, you got to sell these tickets for hula. And I'm like, hey, I'll go walk with you. Like, we'll go around. And it's like, okay. I go in the, I'm going to Shishi. I go in the house. I come back. He's gone. He comes back in 2 hours. And he not only did he sell all the tickets, but he has like $100 more than this. He's like, oh, people just wanted to give me more. I'm like, you did the whole neighborhood. You know what I mean? 6 years old. Like, I'd be so shame.
Or scared, like you want to go with your parents. I was scared to go to Macy's by myself without my mom.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like in high school.
You know, he gives us speeches. He gave a speech at like one of our rallies. He'll do it like with family gatherings. I'm like, okay, if this is how this kid's gonna be, like, anyways.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how his life develops.
Yeah, hopefully he just does art or becomes a doctor or something.
Hopefully he majors in art or becomes a doctor. That's so different.
I mean, you know, like either do the full expression route or do like the immigrant thing.
Yeah. Do you want to have more?
Nah, I mean, it would be cool, but I don't know. I think that's two is plenty.
Yeah,
for our generation.
Yeah. I mean, we're already overpopulated, right?
It's just expensive, bro.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. How do you think people can make more money in Hawaii? Because we always talk about housing and stuff, and my stance is always like, yeah, housing's expensive, but if we can't even afford a house, then, it's like if somebody coming here and buying it, like, that's a house I wasn't going to buy anyways because I don't got the money for it. So I'm just like, how do we make more money is what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, but it's also like, as long as that demand's there, the prices are gonna rise.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
yeah.
The housing prices, but
Yeah.
at a very like simple level, I think regardless, if we gotta make more money to buy the house.
I agree.
Because that's something I don't think is gonna change. I don't really have control over it. Like inflation, the cost of living is always gonna increase regardless of where you are. I think I don't know too much about it, so correct me if I'm wrong. But I think one thing that I can control is how much money I make.
I mean, that's right. So the median annual pay in Hawaii is about 5.5% the cost of a house, an average house. In the U.S., it's around 14%. But during the Great Depression, it was around 32%. So like, it was easier to buy a house during the Great Depression than it is.
I see all the graphics.
Than it is now.
Yeah.
So like, it is about like either it's probably both. You got to lower the cost of housing and you got to raise salaries. But in particular, we talked about this last time. Like in particular, the salaries are really bad here compared to other high cost areas. So despite the high unionization rates and all that, and there's just so many factors involved. But yeah, I mean, even if we did figure out a way to make more money, there's ways to you'll probably see costs catch up. So it's like, I mean, the tourism thing is heavy. Like as long as the jobs are service based, if we're richer than the people that come here, it doesn't work. Like it only works when the service like we're paid less. Otherwise, why would there'd be no one to serve them? We'd be the ones traveling.
Yeah, and all these service jobs, they don't track inflation.
Yeah. So like I think there's something fun. There needs to be a fundamental pivot from tourism. No, it's not saying like I think we should like shut down all the hotels and stuff. I think like especially with Kuhillo and like Aaron, like Salah, like there's been a lot of great changes in the tourism industry. But like and I think there's opportunity to really change the way people visit and how they view Hawaii. But I do think there needs to be a fundamental diversification of like what types of jobs are out there in Hawaii. We can't expect everyone to be an entrepreneur like you, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, this is I got lucky. As hard as I worked, I got lucky to be in this position.
Yeah.
It's like,
and you just also like because your background, you think a certain way and pursue certain things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a very unorthodox person. It's all in my book, available now on Keep It Aloha. I mean, on Amazon. Sorry, but I think, it's one of those things where I think maybe there needs to be a new industry, maybe, because I know technology, AI, maybe. I don't know. I also hear stuff that AI isn't good for the environment. Do you hear stuff like that?
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy. The data centers. It's just kind of like a runaway train at this point, though.
Yeah, it's like you can't really.
Yeah,
do anything.
But we can do like if the energy was from solar and not from oil.
Yeah, and I think they'll eventually start to fix that.
Why? And then China with like DeepSeek?
I heard it. What is that?
I mean, it's like better than ChatGPT, and you can like have it on your phone, and no billionaires controlling it. You can like tweak it for your own needs and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And it's very low energy use.
Okay. Did you see the new AirPods?
Oh, with the translation
That's
stuff.
crazy.
Right? Is it gonna be Olelo? Because I'll be pretty mean.
Oh, maybe. I don't think the first generation would be.
I think it might take somebody.
Well, because like same with Duolingo, like you had Duolingo, and it wasn't years later they had Olelo Hawaii, right?
It just took like a Kanaka being like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna.
Cal Neesmith gotta do them or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's pretty nuts.
That's a game changer in life.
So people. Okay, I gotta say this: if you want to get paid more on an individual or workplace level, you gotta unionize. That's the surefire way. And I say this as someone who's been an employer of people in a union, and it's not always in my interest, but like it does work, and I think the history of Hawaii shows that. So there's that.
So like a certain pay for like how the nurses, they protest because they want a higher pay and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's not even always about pay. Sometimes it's about like that with the nurses. They're just like, we can't like we can't have just a few nurses for all these patients, because then the patients are gonna like not get the care they need, and like we're gonna be burnt out. But yeah, it is good in this time where like the bosses and especially with the billionaire kind of divide of the incomes, like you need to you can't be alone as a worker. You need to have like some people at your back.
Okay, something to think about. All right, I usually ask my guests this question, like, what is one thing you wish people knew about you that they don't? I don't remember if I was already asking this question when we did the last one, but after this last episode with Amy Hill, she brought up this idea because when she mentioned something like when you go into her house and whatever. So my new question that I'm asking people, you're gonna be the first one, is like, if people walked into your house, like, what would they see? Like, what is the vibes that it would give off?
Vibes. That we have 2 boys probably.
Does that mean it's like messy around, or
I mean, like you try to keep it clean, but like the couch cushions are like, have been wrestled on. There's probably a PS5 controller on the ground.
do you collect anything, or?
I think what's interesting is when you walk in, and at first it felt ostentatious, but now it feels right. There's a picture of me like sign waving at like young, like 23, black and white, and then there's a picture of Kara at like a protest, putting her fists up in front of like 5,000 people, and you see that in her living room when you walk in, and it reminds me of like, oh yeah. Like sometimes you just want to tuck away and be like, I have kids now, and it's like not just my reputation, it's their future, if I screw stuff up. But it's like, this is just who we are. We can't not be like that. So it just reminds me of like, that if you can do that when you're that age, you can do that now with everything you know. Because there is a lot of pressure to like not to just take care of your kids and think inwards. So I think that's really noticeable when you open the door. You're like, whoa, these guys.
Yeah, I mean, you two are meant for each other. Or by the way, we're gonna pause, screenshot that one section of you going like this, and we're gonna put it up to Elon Musk, and we're gonna post it on social media and get you canceled.
Yeah, you can say left and right's the same.
Yeah. We're like, Kaniela Ing is a
neo-Nazi.
I'm just joking. Is there anything?
No, it's called a white liberal yesterday for
a white liberal?
for saying don't celebrate murder. Yeah,
that's just crazy to me. It's like again, like at a very humanistic, if that's even a word, stance. Like, you can't celebrate murder.
Yeah,
that's.
I mean, I've had death threats for political stuff. Like, I'm not going to encourage violence, like for my sake of my own kids. Like, I don't walk around the road scared, but like, I don't
think anybody should be giving people death threats, no matter what. I mean, maybe if like, okay, this guy comes and he kills somebody that I know, and like, yes, understandably, I want to get him back. But these are for just people sharing opinions. And
again, it comes down to our political system. If we had one where people felt like it worked for them, they wouldn't be going so nuts, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the times it's people who, they get arrested and they're put back out, or they have all prior red flags, and like nobody really catches it. And because there was a girl who got stabbed or something in the subway or something. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think I didn't see the video, or I didn't see. My friend told me, and I think he said like the person that did it, he was like in and out of prison like 14 times or something like that. Crazy. Yeah. It's gotta catch it early. So what are you excited for coming up? Like, what are your plans in this year, the next couple of years?
Well, I'm sunsetting that org that I'm full time with now, and trying to figure out how I'm trying to figure out what's next. To be honest, like locally, the nonprofit that I do, our Hawai'i, where we're trying to. I'm not getting paid for, even with the line of work, not a penny. But I do got to figure out something where I can sustain my family. So who knows? But I am super excited about like that project. Like our Hawai'i, it's basically like what you saw in Lahaina with all the red shirts coming out and really feeling empowered, even in their darkest moment. Like, what if we can do that everywhere? Like, there's lead in the sands of like the beaches in Ewa, in Pu'uloa, and like some of the military families are talking about it, but like the Hawaiians aren't talking about it yet. Like, that's nuts. Like, your kid's not even supposed to swim there, and like no one's really talking about it. And there's just so many things like that. And I think people just need some awareness and education and empowerment. If they felt like, hey, like I could do this as a job and like, bring my community together, they would. I think just people don't see that as a possibility. So I'm figuring out how to make that possible, and not just like paid, but also like volunteer work. Like, not everyone can get paid, But if people just want to be part of something that feels like it's positive, and yeah, I just want to make that happen. So if we can get like a few chapters up in the next year or so that kind of look like what we did in Lahaina, I think that could be plenty, and people will feel empowered. And it's not just, I think you're seeing some of that with like Ha'a, like Hui Lahaina, and some of these great organizations on the Lahui side. But I think it's fundamental that we have to actually grow beyond that too. It has to be like across races and just about anyone who cares about Hawaii, whether you're Hawaiian or not. It's going to be Hawaiians at the center. I think that's critical, but like it has to be really inclusive. And it can't just be like, oh, you voted for Trump or you voted for Biden. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're down for our cause, like, you join us. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see that. One thing that I hope somebody makes one day is an app where you have like all the community like work days and nonprofit organizations doing stuff. You can just look and like, oh, this one's supporting this cause, this one's supporting this cause. And you can just go and it says like, it has a whole calendar. It's saying like all their work days. I think that would be so cool because I think people want to help and volunteer. Right. They just really don't know where to look. So if you had like a category like, oh, I want to do, conservation, ocean conservation, you get connected with this organization. Or I want to do, demilitarizing stuff, deoccupying Hawaii kind work. And then you could just get connected with the people. Like, we need a directory. I think that's what we need.
Yeah, true.
That'd be cool, huh?
Yeah, that would be cool. You should do it.
I don't know how to do that. I'll get connected.
That's like a part of, that's like a part of organizing, and just the way I generally manage. Just like if somebody has a good idea, it's like, okay, you dug it then.
I'm the idea guy.
Okay.
If it's my own thing, I'll do it. But if it's just the ideas that I'm throwing out there, then I'm just hoping somebody else does it.
I like that too at times.
All right. Again, I don't know if I asked you for a life hack. I'm pretty sure you shared a life hack on the last time. But do you have one to share with us?
Hey, I have one for the fitness people.
Okay. Nice.
So you go and buy a big slab of fish, big slab of beef, big slab of like chicken. This is horrible for the environment. So I'm going to just preface this. You open it, you cut them all up, put them in Ziploc bags while it's fresh, and then throw them all in the freezer. And then you just get like tortilla or rice, just a carb. And then you have your meals and you can just cook, defrost it, cook it the next before. It takes like 5 minutes. And you can like change it up, and you have 3 different proteins, 3 different carbs. You have meals all month and it doesn't taste bad.
Oh, the $5 chicken from Costco, right? You just break that all up and then put it in.
I do that too sometimes if I really, but like, like actually like raw meat and stuff.
And then
but when you freeze it fresh, it like when you defrost it, it's not bad. Like it's pretty good. Okay. And then you just chop it up, put like whatever stuff.
You can use the reusable containers too if you want to save on the Ziplocs.
Yeah, because I won't eat like the pre-cooked frozen stuff or anything like that. Yeah. Like I can't, not for too long. I can get sick of it.
Yeah.
But you do that, like you're gonna get super jacked really quick because it's like all protein.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, mahalo.
Healthy.
You got any other ones?
I mean, it's not vegan, so I don't know if there's a vegan option. But
grass. Put grass inside of a Ziploc. Nah. All right. So these are my last fast 5 questions. These are rapid fire answers. Okay. Favorite childhood snack?
Oh, lemon peel.
Oh, nice. Favorite movie or TV show?
Family Man, Nick Cage.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
You should watch that.
Gosh, Nick Cage.
It's like
he's a national treasure.
It's like quintessential Nick Cage. Really? Dude, this is like peak.
Okay, I gotta check it out. Okay, favorite guilty pleasure?
PS5.
Oh, nice. What are you playing?
Right now, Oblivion Remastered.
Oh, okay. Were you a big video game person your whole life?
Not really. That's the other thing. In my whole 20s, I didn't play any video games. That's how I kind of established some sort of career.
Oh, okay. So now it's just like with your kids.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Favorite way to recharge?
Strumming some guitar. Picking some guitar.
Nice. Favorite travel destination?
Maui now. It's sad, but Maui, that's where I'm from.
What about outside of Hawaii?
Hong Kong.
Oh, nice.
That's a good one.
I don't think that's not even on my bucket list, but a lot of people say it's really awesome.
If you're gonna do Philippines, you should just hop over.
Yeah, close enough.
Or even Korea. Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Yeah, I do wanna go to Korea. I hear the food in Korea is really good.
I haven't been Korea. But yeah, that's definitely on my list.
Yeah, I mean, just might as well do all of just do like how people do a Euro trip, just doing like an Asia trip.
Yeah, my friend Stanley. You know Stanley Chang, the guy in Hawaii. Yeah, he's a senator. He's where it got started. He does this thing he used to call Courasia. You get there and you do Air Asia and it's like super cheap. It's like $30 tickets.
Wow.
We got Courasia.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for that. All right, that's all we got for you today. Mahalo again for coming in, talking stories, catching up, sharing your mana'o. Is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up? If not, tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the project is the divides that we're seeing as Hawaiians, as local people, isn't just our attitudes. It's like the systems that surround us. And there's also ways that we can change those systems. There's, methods for third parties. There's methods for changing the Constitution. And that sounds scary. That sounds daunting to people. But that's how most modern democracies work. You refresh it every few years. It wasn't set up for the internet, the world of the internet and all these things. And we're starting to see the really disastrous consequence of that. So, think big. I don't know. I try to post more these days on Instagram. It's hard for me. Started to on TikTok too.
Hey,
which
there
is
we
crazy.
go.
Do you TikTok?
I don't really post on TikTok. I mean, our podcast is on TikTok, so I post every day. So I go on, and then I'll see things once in a while. I don't doom scroll. I don't on any social media platform.
I look really cocky because it has like 30,000 followers and 0 following. But it's only because I posted one time.
Yeah, you don't follow anybody.
But I don't use it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to. So you can find me there.
Okay, are you doing the TikTok dances with your sons? Can we find you doing that? You and Kara doing some couple.
You'll never find me do that, bro.
Never say never.
Well, maybe one day I'll like join the halal, and then when he's in the men's halal, then I'll join them,
there we go.
We can do some.
That's more tasteful.
Yeah. It'll be to David Guetta, but we'll be doing.
Right on. And where can they find you?
No, yeah. I mean, I don't know on that.
No, what was like your username?
Oh, my username, Kaniela Ing.
Okay,
always
easy to remember. Okay, right on. Well, mahalo, Kaniela, for joining us on the Keep It Aloha podcast. Spread love, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka. Remember to always keep it aloha.